Hello and welcome to Vibra Livestream. Tonight is episode number 4 of HEX Date Updates. My name is Lindsay and I am joined by the lovely Serena Alonzi. Tonight we'll be covering emergency end staking and why that's probably not a good idea. But before we get into it, let's say hello to Vibra Finance.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.
All right, welcome back. Like I said, episode number 4, emergency unstaking. What is it? Serena, can you give us just a general brief, real quick? What is emergency unstaking?
Sure. So emergency end staking is breaking a promise to yourself that you made and breaking a promise to the smart contract because you're going back on your word and ending your stake early. So there's also consequences of doing that, which we will get into. But yeah, so
that was way to put it. Okay, so before we do, let's take a look and see what's going on with the crypto markets in general. Yep, looks about right. Dumpster fires everywhere. Good news is that HEX users and stakers are unaffected. We are running on day 1097 of flawless uptick time. Today, right now, it is December 3rd. Our HEX price is sitting around 3 cents. The T-share rate is at 25,211. Before we get into more of that about the staking and shares, we've gone over that in the past weeks. We talked about what is HEX, what are shares, what are T-shares and share rates. We talked about staking. And now today we're going to be talking about emergency unstaking and why that's not a good idea. Serena, you had mentioned consequences of emergency unstaking. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more for us, please?
Yes, of course. There's quite a few consequences. So if you end your stake early, you lose out on a lot of bonuses. And depending on how early you emergency end stake, you can nuke pretty much your whole stack and have nothing left. So you really want to be careful and make sure you know what you're doing before you end your stakes. And it's super important to pay attention to the dates that you are staked until. So when you make a HEX stake and you're on the go.hex.win website and you enter your amount of HEX to stake, it'll show you like a calendar comes up. It'll tell you what day you want to select until you're staked. So make sure you save that date on your phone or somewhere because that is super important to pay attention to. And also, if you're somebody who does want to emergency end stake, there's a big warning that will pop up and tell you, like, are you sure you want to do this? And yeah, because you will lose a lot and be pretty unhappy. So I recommend not to do any emergency end stakes. The good thing, though, is that if you do ignore that warning, the rest of us loyal HEX stakers get rewarded with all of your coins that you lost. So that is another reason that I forgot to mention on our last episode of why you want to stake your HEX, because you also get all those rewards, which is a really good reason too. And if you emergency end stake, it can eat away at not only your rewards and yields, but it can also eat away at your principal. So it is, I would say emergency end staking is dangerous. And the earlier you do that, the worse it is for you. So you lose most of your stack or a huge portion of it. And you also miss out on those T-shares that you now just gave away and can't really get back at the same price that you got them at. So those are many of the consequences. And I'm sure there's a few more I can't think of right now, but yeah, a lot of consequences to doing that. So there are reasons, though, that people do emergency end stake. So Lindsay, did you want to give some reasons why people would emergency end stake?
Well, there are a couple of reasons that someone could emergency end stake, or we call it, like, it's in the papers as emergency end staking, period. You could hit the button by accident. These are things that have happened when you don't understand what the benefits are on the other side of staking your HEX versus holding it liquid, which is something we covered in episode number 2. So you could hit that button by accident. That would be a really unfortunate accident to happen. Or perhaps sometimes you don't have a plan in place. And that's where being over leveraged can come into play. So it's really important that you have a plan in place so that when you're making these strategies for staking, that they're going to be sustainable and something that you can keep up with. Because, like you had mentioned in a previous episode, when you are interacting with this smart contract, you are, like you said, making a promise to yourself, right?
Yep, exactly.
And so when you make a promise to yourself and then you break it, what happens?
Mm-hmm. There's consequences.
There's right, and we see those consequences in many days, in many ways, every single day. There's breaking a promise to yourself of, I'm going to get out of bed and drink 12 ounces of water and go for a 2-mile walk tomorrow. Okay, so that's a goal that you had in mind, but did you take steps, an actionable plan? Did you put that in place to be able to execute that goal? So we had talked about mapping, right? Mapping is like something that, those are global stats. We'll get back to that. Mapping is called a Millionaire Action Plan's positively inspiring, never-ending growth. What's your plan? Do you have a goal set for finances? And what does that mean to you? Because this is a whole game. We're all here for a reason, right? Community is an amazing part of HEX, but there's also another reason why we came together in the first place. So being able to hit milestones, you're able to give yourself a pat on the back for those things, and then having a promise to yourself that is made with a smart contract that is unbreakable. You can't go to anybody and say, oops, I didn't mean to sign this contract, because you have until 12 midnight. And if you don't cancel that contract before 12 midnight, you've made that promise to yourself. It's in very black and white, and there is no eraser. There is an oops button called emergency end staking, and that comes with the consequence of, as Serena had said, losing half your stack or losing your principal balance. And we'll get into that in future episodes, exactly what that would look like. But really, you want to stay within, Serena, you had mentioned something about like staking plans in a previous episode, right? One of the ones that we had talked about was perhaps a 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about the 5-year plan as just like a basic staking strategy for anyone that's new, because 5 years is really not that long when you're looking at investing and expecting or hoping for returns and rewards. And also the average bank time deposit terms is usually 1 to 5 years anyways. So yeah, 5 years is a good starting point. You can always make longer ones later or shorter ones. And then also, if you look at, this is what Lindsay just put up here, the average stake length for HEX investors is almost 7 years. So if you're starting with a 5-year stake, you're already, you know that there's going to be people around even in 5 years from now, because most people are staked almost 7 years, right? So that gives you like more, I guess, confidence in it, or yeah, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but
confidence is an excellent word.
Yeah.
If I'm going to participate in an asset class for a prolonged period of time, which 5 years is, some people would consider that a short investment period. Anything from like 1 to 5 years would be considered short. So you're entering into a short investment plan.
Yeah.
5 years. And like you said, if the average duration is over that 5-year plan, confidence. Absolutely. That's the word that I would use with it too. It gives you confidence in a product, knowing that there's other people that have that same level of confidence that you do. And if they don't, and they end their stakes, you are rewarded as a HEX staker for keeping that promise to yourself. You're getting rewarded daily. And if somebody ends and breaks that promise to themselves, you get rewarded for them breaking that promise. So those are
Exactly.
cool little bonuses that come in here.
And if I was sorry.
No,
No, I'm just gonna say, like, if I was new to HEX, that would definitely give me confidence. And like most of us OGs, we're staked out 15 years. So like that says a lot. So yeah, 5 years is a good starting point. Definitely. If you're new, your first stake should be minimum 5 years, because why would you want to stake less than that when you know bigger pays better and you get more T shares? And you can always make shorter stakes later, but you might regret, oh, why didn't I start with a 5-year stake or a 10-year stake earlier on, right? So you can always work backwards that way. But
right, you can. And we'll get into that. That is episode number 5 coming up next week. We're going to get more into staking strategies. Now, we've been saying like next week, but really we wanted to get the ideals and the principles of why you would want to why liquid HEX versus staked HEX. What is the difference? Why would you actually want to stake your HEX? And now we're going to be talking about strategies to help you keep those plans in place to get you on that millionaire roadmap. I mean, if that's
exactly.
where you want to stop at 1,000-air, that's totally okay. That is a goal that is absolutely achievable. Millionaire, we're gonna have to kick it up a notch, take a couple more steps, but I know together we can do this. I have the confidence going forward with this. Do you?
Of course, I do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be staked out for 15 years. So I definitely.
There you go. All right. Well, keep rolling. This week you were working on a video with, this is something that had come up new in the news. MetaMask. Surprise. MetaMask is sharing your data. How surprising.
Right? Oh man.
And you had worked on that. You worked on something with video this week with the VPN. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Because if you're going to be staking your HEX and going through those things, we had mentioned MetaMask in a previous episode. I just wanted to touch on it briefly.
Yeah, sure, of course. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's the whole MetaMask could track your IP address, and then people were changing their RPC settings. So I filmed a video to show you guys how to change your RPC settings to Flashbots, and only after filming that video, then I heard some updated information that Flashbots might not be the best option. So I didn't want to put that video out in case it's, I want to give you guys like good information, right? So I was holding off on that. But I'm going to try and make a newer updated video this weekend. I heard good things about Anchor and One, but One is kind of slow maybe. So yeah, I just want to make sure it's good information, because Flashbots is apparently
information, that's for sure, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And Flashbots apparently I heard not good things about it. So
right.
I didn't want to like rush into it and just people are using VPNs with MetaMask. Personally, I have been using a VPN for years, and regardless of if I'm doing crypto stuff or not, like I always have a VPN. So I will put more about that in the video for you guys. There's a free one you can use as well called Proton. So
Brave browser has a VPN too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But make sure it's important. You're always read the privacy policies on those. And you don't have to use MetaMask. There are other wallets out there. Trust Wallet you could use. And know that if you've already been using that wallet with your MetaMask, your Ethereum address, I mean, it is what it is. But going going forward, knowing, when you set up a new wallet and your new VPN, then that there's ways to protect your privacy. Really, at the end of the day, these companies are private companies, and these private companies are collecting your data so that they can sell your data to someone else. So in order to keep your data yours and privately owned, these are these steps that we need to put in place to protect ourselves. So thank you for putting it out there, and we'll look forward to updated information, because that is truly what a community is for, is to gather the most updated information and to share it forward. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Okay. Well, I think that is all we had with emergency unstaking. I think we got our point across here, guys. If you are committing to a contract, if you're committing to yourself, if you're committing a promise, then make sure that you have a plan in place to see that through. Anything else we want to add this week, Serena?
Don't forget, guys, that this is not financial advice, by the way, just our suggestions and recommendations and good strategies and stuff. So there's that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because Vibra Finance will be giving away a ledger. So
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Nano X, not this one. You'll be getting a brand new one sealed in the box from the manufacturer, never a third party. So you can keep your crypto nice and safe and cold. That I will be giving away once we reach 1,000 subscribers for our YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, please hit the like button, subscribe, bell button. All the faster we get to 1,000 subs, the faster is away. Also, I have a hat. I actually have 5 of them. I have 5 of these awesome Pulse Chain, Pulse X, HEX hats to give away.
Those are awesome. Really awesome.
They really are. They have the sweetest lids on them.
That's cool.
They're like, the quality of them is really good.
Did you make those? Or
these were swag that was gifted to the participants of the first annual Pulse Masters Golf Tournament, which is an awesome event that our community put on. Very cool. It was the first international golf crypto tournament. It was really cool.
Very nice.
Rochelle Private Equity was the most generous sponsor, and they gave us a whole sleeve to give away. So I have 5 of them for our viewers. In the comments below, say that you just comment, hey, I watched your show, I want a hat. And I will pick 5 lucky random winners so that I can get this in your hands by the end of the next week. When you tune into episode number 5, you can match us, and it'll be really fun. So we'll get one out to you too. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. That is all we have for tonight. Next week, number 5, we are going to be covering staking strategies, laddering, snowballing, all of the good things. So stay tuned. Episode number 4.
Done. Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. A little outro again. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Our mission is to empower you to use your knowledge and intuition to create a portfolio that works for you, to build the confidence you need to navigate the crypto market, and to feel secure when you're ready to invest into the new financial system. We care. Our investments, we take them personally. We will never present a coin or a project to you that we have not invested in ourselves or done the extensive research we feel is required. At Vibra, we are a team that will take you step by step through the cryptocurrency market with confidence. Being a client of Vibra allows you exclusive access to our community in our private Discord server, where you can chat with our consultants. They are ready, willing, and able to help you with any of your problems. These services are a rich resource for those of you that are looking for a place to start that they can trust. Becoming a client of Vibra starts with welcoming you to share your long and short-term goals with us by scheduling a complimentary 15-minute chat via phone or Zoom. We look forward to getting to know more about you and how we can best assess your individual asset portfolio and financial goals. We provide solutions on how to self-custody your crypto, as well as how to gain exposure without directly owning crypto. Ultimately, this leads us to maintaining a long-standing relationship based on trust. We are committed to empowering and educating crypto investors on how to take and make decisions and maximize returns. We provide value with extensive market knowledge, active portfolio management, and our industry associates so you can reach your financial goals.